15 fast food empires that were once icons. Now, silently dying. No scandals, no bankruptcies, no farewells. But Burger King, KFC, Subway, Pizza Hut are disappearing, quietly and coldly, as if they never existed. Fast food used to be the American dream. Fast, cheap, accessible to everyone. But in 2025, young people no longer eat for convenience. They demand emotion, identity, and experience. And the old soulless brands are being abandoned. Not by protest, but by forgetfulness. This isn't just the collapse of a few fast food chains. It's the unceremonious death of an era that once thought it would last forever. Boston Market, when home-cooked meals became a name no one remembers. There was a time when Boston Market was a gentle whisper amidst the industrial noise of fast food. A place where you could eat quickly but still feel cared for, like at home. The rotisserie chicken was still warm, mashed potatoes still fragrant, the space not too bright nor too rushed. It was a place for the weary who still wanted to feel something. But by 2025, no one stops anymore. And no one listens. From over 1,100 locations down to under 300, Boston Market didn't collapse. It faded. Not overnight, not in protest. But one store going dark, one sign taken down, one kitchen fire turned off, in the market's absolute silence. They didn't die from a shock, but from being ignored. Thousands of times. Not fast enough to be fast food, not tech-savvy enough to compete, not cheap enough to attract, and not special enough to be remembered. While the whole F&B industry rushed into AI, digital experiences, apps, loyalty points, Boston Market kept the slow rhythm of a bygone era when a decent meal was enough to retain customers. But the cruel truth is, today's customers don't buy meals. They buy a feeling. The feeling of being seen, understood, and resonating. And Boston Market no longer evokes any feeling at all. No nostalgia, no excitement, no reason to come back. After multiple ownership changes, the brand lost direction. No app, no community, no identity. They weren't rejected, they were forgotten. In a world where speed kills mediocrity, Boston Market didn't lose because they were bad, but because they were so bland, no one noticed they were gone. Do you remember the last time you ate at Boston Market? Or did you only realize it was gone when walking past an empty space where the smell of roast chicken once lingered? Comment below. Hardee's, when every effort gets swallowed by oblivion. No scandals, no public outrage, no poor food quality. Yet, it's disappearing. Store by store, or city by city, and no one even bothers to ask what happened to Hardee's. It's not failure, it's evaporation. Slow, silent, and nearly invisible. And that's the scariest death a brand can face, dying without anyone noticing. Once a symbol of the American breakfast, cheesy burgers, hot egg sandwiches, flavorful fries, Hardee's lived in the hearts of the working class. But by 2025, over 200 stores have closed, and not a single major news outlet reported on it. No one mourned. No one defended it. Hardee's vanished like it never existed. Worse still, they tried. Revamped menus, refreshed interiors, launched promo campaigns. But it was all like knocking on the door of an empty house. No one was listening. Because when a brand no longer represents anyone, every effort becomes an echo in the void. The market shifted. Today's customers want lighter, fresher, cleaner meals, both in nutrition and design. But Hardee's stayed heavy, literally and figuratively. Heavy in calories, in structure, in old-school spirit. The merger with Carl's Jr. was meant to be a boost, but instead it blurred the brand even more. 2 names, 1 menu, no identity. Consumers looked confused, didn't know who was who, didn't know what they were selling, and in the end, chose neither. Hardee's wasn't cheap enough to compete on price, not fresh enough to follow trends, not distinct enough to spark emotion, not new enough to try again. They didn't lose because they were bad. They lost because no one remembered them. In an industry where Gen Z drives the wheel, being forgotten is scarier than being criticized. Checkers and Rallies, when fast and cheap, is no longer an advantage but a sentence of obsolescence. Once upon a time, Checkers and Rallies was the end-of-day stop for the working class, where you didn't even have to leave your car and could still eat well for a few bucks. But by 2025, that so-called minimal and efficient model has become the very indictment of falling behind. Fast is no longer enough. Cheap no longer valuable. Familiar no longer a reason to return. In just 3 years, over 25% of locations vanished from the U.S. map. Former strongholds, Florida, Georgia, Ohio, now lie empty as if the brand never existed. No protests, no nostalgic hashtags. Just each store quietly turning off the lights. Checkers and Rallies still believed in the classic fast food model. Basic drive-through, limited menu, no dine-in space. But the world shifted. Gen Z doesn't just eat, they want to tap, choose, personalize, and express themselves with every swipe of an app. And Checkers? They're still stuck in 2008. No strong delivery app, no interactive digital channels, no major design or experience changes. While Shake Shack is turning burgers into lifestyle, Taco Bell is testing AI-powered drive-thrus. Checkers clings to the old combo: sauce-heavy burgers, salty fries, giant sodas. Once Hardee, now just outdated and heavy. Worse, it's no longer cheap. The $4 combo is now $8 in many cities. But the store is still dull, the food still basic, and the experience still soulless. When prices go up but emotions don't, customers walk away and don't come back. And the menu? Still looks like a faded plastic board. In an age of plant-based, zero sugar, eco packaging, Checkers still stands there, a relic refusing to leave the stage. Jack in the Box. When a brand doesn't die but isn't allowed to live. In the world of branding, being forgotten is scarier than death. And Jack in the Box, once a symbol of West Coast late nights, is slowly fading away in silence. No scandals, no crisis, just no one showing up anymore. Revenue dropped nearly 9% over 2 years. Many stores closed quietly. A brand once famous for being always there, 24/7 is now no longer present in the minds of consumers. What used to be a strength, variety, is now a weakness. The menu is confusing, quality inconsistent, the experience lacking coherence. While In-N-Out simplified Whataburger built identity, Jack in the Box sits in the middle, vague, undefined, outdated space lacking character, no longer a destination, no longer a memory. Jack in the Box isn't hated, it's just been left behind. Subway, when an empire quietly dissolves itself. Once the most popular, healthy fast food choice in America, Subway peaked with over 27,000 stores. But by the end of 2024, they had lost over 4,000 locations in just 5 years, and that number keeps falling. The scary part, almost no one noticed. No longer the go-to lunch spot for office workers, no longer a student pit stop. Subway is fading from consumer routines, not because of crisis, but because there's no longer a reason to exist. Why? The idea of healthy has evolved. Today's consumers demand fresh ingredients, transparency, welcoming spaces, personalized experiences. But Subway still clings to old formulas: canned veggies, cold cuts, sterile interiors, robotic process, everything outdated. While Panera Bread and Jersey Mike's elevate sandwiches into modern experiences, Subway continues shrinking both quality and emotional appeal. They weren't defeated, they were replaced. Worse, Subway's decline reflects the shrinking American middle class, the group that once needed just enough in price, time, and nutrition. But just enough is no longer enough. Dairy Queen, when a summer icon melts away into forgetfulness. Some brands don't just sell products, they sell memories. And Dairy Queen was once one of them. But by 2025, even memories aren't enough to hold onto a name melting amid the market's relentless wave of change. Over 300 Dairy Queen stores have closed in just 3 years, mostly in the Midwest and South, regions that once saw DQ as part of everyday life. Customer traffic has dropped by 25%, and the brand no longer exists in the consumer culture dictionary of younger generations. No scandals, no controversies, no one boycotting Dairy Queen, just no one remembering. While Gen Z and millennials flock to artisanal ice cream shops, nut milk cafes, organic frozen yogurt spots with bold designs and clear identities, Dairy Queen sticks to its old formula: soft serve, tired burgers, and spaces unchanged for 3 decades. And they're paying the price for that loyalty. Today's consumers don't just eat, they experience, take photos, and share. They choose a shop for the brand story, for the feeling that this says something about me. Dairy Queen, with white plastic chairs, fluorescent lighting, and an unchanging menu, has become a relic of a time when tastes good was enough to survive. Now, good isn't good enough, not without emotion, context, and personality. Worse, Dairy Queen's downfall isn't just a business failure. It's the fracture of a cultural icon, as those hot afternoons with a blizzard in hand get replaced by sugar-free coconut yogurt, eaten in minimalist cafes with indie music, strong Wi-Fi, and selfie-ready corners. The question is, can Dairy Queen do more than live on nostalgia? Or will it quietly melt away, like the very cone that once defined it? Share your thoughts and memories. Because if you grew up with Dairy Queen, this isn't just a disappearing brand. It's an American summer closing its final chapter. Carl's Jr., a brand standing still while the market runs. Once known for bold ads and all-American portions, Carl's Jr. turned heads. Not because it was cheap, but because it had attitude. But by 2025, no one cares about that coolness anymore because today's consumers expect more: convenience, health, personalization. Hundreds of stores have closed. Even in home-based states like California and Arizona, the brand is being replaced by newer, faster, smarter names. Carl's Jr. still advertises heavily, but no one's listening anymore. The problem? They serve meat-heavy, cheese-loaded, high-calorie burgers, while Gen Z wants low-carb, gluten-free, plant-based. They want slick apps, easy customization, reward points. Carl's Jr. has none of that. Add in the strategic misstep with Hardee's: 2 brands, 1 menu, 1 image, creating confusion and diluting identity. Carl's Jr. doesn't know who it is, and neither do its customers. Outdated stores, slow service, emotionless experience. When convenience is the bare minimum, standing still means falling behind. And Carl's Jr. is quietly exiting the game. Wendy's, when kindness is no longer a reason to exist. In the fast food race of 2025, where tech, speed, and personality reign, Wendy's still clings to the word quality. But as the market shifts rapidly, honesty and consistency are no longer enough to survive. Wendy's used to be a trusted spot for working people. Not too cheap, not too loud, just a decent meal. But now it's on the decline. 3 consecutive quarters of revenue drops, hundreds of stores closing, and a brand slowly fading. Not because of scandal, but because it's forgotten. There's no big mistake, just a string of small things that kill the vibe. Combo prices nearing $10, outdated decor, tired employees, lukewarm food, soulless experience. Among a new generation of consumers, Wendy's is stuck. Not bold enough, not cheap enough, not fresh enough. Worse, Wendy's mirrors a retreating America, where the middle class once believed in just enough. But today, just enough is no longer a reason to return. And Wendy's, if it doesn't evolve, won't be defeated, it'll just be left behind in silence. KFC, when a cultural icon becomes a forgotten memory. KFC was once part of American memory, not just for fried chicken, but the warm feeling it brought. But by 2025, the brand is falling behind, not from losing its flavor, but from losing its reason to exist. From 2021 to the end of 2024, over 500 KFC locations closed in the US. Even in large states like California, New York, Illinois, average sales dropped 15 to 20% in many areas. And it's not because Americans stopped loving fried chicken. They still eat it, just not at KFC. The reason? KFC stopped evolving. While Chick-fil-A runs like a high-efficiency machine with a simple menu, while Popeyes and Raising Cane's win over young folks with trendy branding and modern vibes, KFC stuck to its old combo: fried chicken, mashed potatoes, biscuits. A formula once seen as heritage, now viewed as stale, rigid, lifeless. But the issue goes beyond food. The store environment tells it all. Cheap plastic chairs, harsh lighting, unfriendly staff. A combo might cost $13, but the experience doesn't match the price. In a world where people pay more just to feel cared for, KFC represents an emotionless fast food model. Worse still, KFC used to be a symbol. Post-church dinners, weekend kid rewards, a fast but warm solution for busy parents. But times have changed. Young people don't buy nostalgia, they buy experiences. And KFC, if it can't redefine itself, may end up in the memory drawer with Blockbuster or Sears. Once great, but no one really remembers why. Popeyes, when one boom can't feed the hunger forever. In 2019, the chicken sandwich made Popeyes a national phenomenon. But by 2025, that shine has faded. Over 200 stores closed, loyal customers down 18%. Not because the food is bad, but because the brand no longer knows who it's serving. Popeyes got trapped in the short-term success game, living off one product while operations fall apart. Uneven quality, long waits, inconsistent service. Especially in working-class areas, once a stronghold for the brand, that's unforgivable. Meanwhile, rivals move ahead. Chick-fil-A runs like clockwork. Raising Cane's keeps it ultra simple. And Popeyes, the more it expands, the more it loses its way. Worse, it used to be a reliable meal for working folks. Fast, cheap, warm. Now it's not cheap, not consistent, and has no real reason to stay. No boycott needed. Customers just walk away. Hardee Pizza Hut, once a place of togetherness, now just an empty table. Pizza Hut used to bring American families together. Yellow lights, red booths, cozy nights over hot pizza. But by 2025, that golden past has become a burden. From 2017 to 2024, over 1,500 locations closed. Mainly in mid-America, once its fortress. Pizza Hut didn't die from bad pizza, it died from falling out of sync with new generations. While Domino's became a tech-powered delivery company, MOD and Blaze made meals feel personal, and Little Caesar stayed cheap and fast. Pizza Hut was neither cheap, fast, nor new. Large dine-ins, once assets, are now cost burdens. Outdated decor, unremarkable service. In an era where meals must be shareable, feel-worthy, viral, Pizza Hut is completely missing. Unclear strategy, not trending. Doesn't trigger a must-try feeling. A brand tied to memories, now absent from the present. And when an icon is no longer mentioned, it's already starting to disappear. McDonald's, from national icon to total stranger.
Hôm nay là một ngày đẹp trời.
Cứ nói linh tinh thế.
McDonald's lights are still on, still blanketing the U.S.
Trời mưa gió bão bùng.
But what was once home to the working class has now become a cold pit stop. Over 500 stores have closed by the end of 2024, mostly in low-income areas, the very places that once built this brand. A Big Mac combo now costs $13 to $15, enough to make workers hesitate. Inside, machines replace people, the menu lacks inspiration, and the atmosphere feels soulless. McDonald's is no longer a place that brings people together. It's just a shadow of itself. Meanwhile, the younger generation is redefining fast food. Personalization, clean ingredients, vibrant spaces. Chipotle, Sweetgreen, Shake Shack are rising fast. McDonald's, the former leader, is now off pace, off course, and slowly forgotten. It's not dead, but if it doesn't dismantle its old model, it won't die from scandal. It'll die from indifference. Taco Bell, when bold becomes repetition. Once the rebel icon of fast food, tasty, cheap, a little crazy, but by 2025, Taco Bell is derailing from its own tracks. Sales are plummeting in major cities, order frequency is dropping fast. Gen Z, the once expected core audience, has turned away. Loyal customers are aging out. Taco Bell thrived on being different, but when different stops evolving, it just becomes an outdated version of itself. Hits like the Doritos Taco once exploded, but then fizzled because nothing strong came after. While Chipotle champions transparency and customization, Taco Bell still clings to its late-night drunk food image. It's no longer identity, it's a cocoon they're trapped inside. Worse yet, they're being outpaced on their own turf. Local taco trucks, fresh, real, personalized, are stealing young hearts. And Taco Bell? Cold spaces. Combos now at $9 to $10, but the experience doesn't follow. When customers are willing to pay more to get more, Taco Bell, if it doesn't change, won't be different. It'll just be left behind. The problem isn't budget. Taco Bell has the money, but they lack one thing: the courage to break their old formula, the very thing that once made them famous but now drags them down. Does Taco Bell have the guts to reinvent itself, or will it keep clinging to nostalgia and promos until no one's curious enough to walk in again? Share your thoughts in the comments. The silent collapse of Burger King. Burger King. When a kingdom dies quietly. No bankruptcy, no scandal, no farewell speech. Yet over 400 Burger King stores in the U.S. have shut down in just 2 years and no one really noticed. No boycott, no outrage. Burger King simply got forgotten. They didn't change when the market did. Whopper, their pride, has barely changed in over a decade. Outdated interiors, unstable service, a brand disconnected from newer customers. Gen Z doesn't hate Burger King, they just have no reason to walk in. While In-N-Out, Five Guys, Shake Shack thrive on vibe and experience, Burger King is stuck between past and present. Not cheap, not premium, no clear personality, and most of all, not memorable. Burger King's collapse didn't come from a major blow, but from 1,000 moments of being ignored. And that's the scariest death in the service industry. Disappearing in silence because you no longer stand for anything. A&W, a 100-year brand in decline. By early 2025, A&W operates about 850 restaurants globally, with just around 600 left in the U.S., mostly in the Midwest and small towns. Though they've announced some new franchises, expansion has nearly stalled. While rivals like Shake Shack and Chick-fil-A are booming with tech, A&W sticks to its classic model. No app, no menu personalization, outdated spaces. The old soul strategy can create uniqueness, but it also makes it hard for A&W to reach today's consumers, who value digital ease, speed, and personal identity. This trickles down to logistics, supply chains, and even labor appeal, key elements in the modern F&B game. So here's the question. In an age of automation and emotional consumption, should A&W preserve or reinvent itself? Do you think this century-old brand can survive on nostalgia, or does it need a full transformation? Share your view below. 15 fast food empires that were once icons now. Dying silently isn't just about burgers, fried chicken, or pizza. It's about an America that's changing, where once default values are being replaced by emotion, identity, and personal experience. These brands didn't die because they were bad. They died because no one saw themselves in them anymore. Which name on this list did you grow up with? Share it below. And don't forget to subscribe to revisit American cultural icons before they vanish for good without a sound. Thank you for staying with us till the end. Your silent presence is what keeps us telling stories, sharing truths, and searching for meaning. If you believe this journey is worth it, hit subscribe. Every follower is a powerful push forward. This video was made with reliable sources and heartfelt input from the community. We strive to bring you a view that's honest, layered, and deeply human.